Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Karen Marsdale and I'm CEO and President of the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce. And today, this is going to be another exciting day, just listening to the stories of our great member companies, how they started, what they're doing, the excitement of business. So today I'm really pleased to have Baron Schultz from Schultz Technology. Baron, welcome.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
So this is your company is Schultz Technology.
Yes, ma'am.
And as we talked, I'm not the most literate of IT people. I just know that computers work and do a great job, and all the things that we're doing so much more effectively in the 21st century.
Absolutely.
As a result of great technology. But first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about the genesis of the company. And maybe in just a few moments, you can share what brought you to this place in your journey.
Sure. I was in the hotel business for many years. Make a long story short, I was going to become general manager. And actually, the hotel went a different route. They brought in a bunch of new managers, and ceremoniously a bunch of us left.
Okay, oftentimes that's such a start for...
Absolutely, and I part of my duties were IT and phones at the Hilton where I worked at the time, and I figured, you know what, this is a time for me to start something I love to do, and wow. I went out and started. It's been going on 15 years now. So.
Oh my word,
yes.
Oh my word. Well, that's great, and so often entrepreneurs start their businesses out of a necessity. They've got to find work. They need to, and they look back to what they're passionate about, and then that seems to just kind of, evolve.
And it's great for us. We really focus on the biggest thing for us is our customer relations. So over the last 15 years, we've built really strong relationships, and the one-stop technology shop comes from clients asking us. When we first started, we were mainly IT, phones, and cabling, and now we've grown into electrical and security and fire, and that's from clients going, Baron, can you do this? Can your guys do this?
Sure.
And we've expanded, many different departments. So we have a IT division and an electrical division and a install division. So it's kind of nice.
That's a testimony to the fact that people are coming to you because they trust you, and they want to do business with you, and they're asking for that next step or that other piece that really becomes so, and honestly, in this day and age, we're all so, we have little patience, and we want everything to work immediately, and when something goes down,
correct,
it just is like a huge disaster for everyone, though it may not be.
Right, and they want to make one phone call, and it's nice because they can just pick up the phone and it's one call, and we can handle all their problems.
So you're located in Pottstown.
Yes, ma'am.
But what's your footprint of your client base?
Well, we have another office in Tampa and a smaller office in Charlotte. So we've been growing up and down the East Coast, which is very nice. And we've actually, we're doing work right now for an Italian company internationally. So we're doing help desk for 40 sites throughout the U.S. So we're expanding a little bit, which is kind of nice.
Well, that's exciting. Now, so how many employees do you have?
We have 26. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's and just to have made it over that threshold that so many businesses don't. And 15 years, that's obviously a testimony again to what you're doing, and you're doing it right. So you've got 26 employees. Sounds like you've been growing pretty quickly.
Yes. With the help of the chamber. And
well, wonderful. Whoa.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you to maybe do a little commercial for us. What has been the biggest advantage, do you think, of we talked earlier about belonging to chambers?
I think the biggest advantage is getting to meet the local businesses and the communities and opening those doors and those conversations. Okay. Carrie Robertson, who's our client relations manager, comes to quite a few chamber functions, and you really you get from it what you put into it. And I always tell people I'm a big chamber advocate. If you're going to join, don't just join and not do anything.
Right.
Go to functions, go to business card meetings, go to dinner, go out there and make yourself known. Sure. And you're going to get paid back.
Yes, that's working on your business, and you have to balance that and do that. You absolutely do. Well, that's great to hear, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, is there a particular niche in terms of your client base?
We're all over the board. We have clients that are one-person shops. up to 200-300 end users. Just depends. The nice thing about us that our niche that works for us is you'll have a client representative, a client relation manager. You'll have a sales manager that you can talk to. So against the larger companies in the world, the Comcast or the Verizons, it's nice because they know, hey, I'm going to get that one-on-one service. I can call Schultz and someone's going to call me back and they're going to, act like it's their problem and fix it for us. So that's been our forte. Whether it's one person or a couple hundred people, we treat everybody the same.
Well, that's good to hear, because there's nothing more frustrating than not being able to get through. And your problem is the largest problem in the world when you have that problem.
Correct.
And isn't that the truth? So you don't, I didn't know if perhaps coming out of the hotel business and the but it could be everyone.
We've done some hotel work, and again, the nice thing about being a one-stop shop, if the economy's slower, we're not just focusing on IT. We also have cabling, or we have electrical work. So that's really helped us grow too, because we're not, just counting on one thing to bring in revenue.
Absolutely, which is really, really important. That's a good business model and plan to have, is that you have to diversify, and you also have to spread your risk.
Absolutely.
And not just have a particular niche that could at some point in time slow up or be in a place. How about that growth? Did you ever find wow, we're growing so fast that, and this is I think really true of many entrepreneurs and business owners, is that growth is good, and is it measured, and very deliberate growth, or suddenly you find yourself with your hair on fire because you've really grown and you have to keep up with it on the back end?
Yes, we trust me, we've had some growing pains. We've put new customer service software in place. So every time you're putting something new in place, you're trying to make sure your customers don't have any pain points. We haven't done great on everything, but we always make sure that we fix it if there's a problem. So yes, we've had some pain points where as you're growing and you're bringing new salespeople in to keep everybody on pace, and finding people that have the same values as you for the customer service aspect is sometimes difficult. So we have a great staff, and everybody knows our clients are our number one priority. So that's to get that mindset in.
And that's kind of the whole concept of building a culture where everybody can read from the same song sheet and know that that's really true, and that this is what and I think that the companies that do that well do position themselves for growth and for success.
Right.
And when that's not aligned, then it becomes a real difficulty.
Yeah, and your customers have to trust you. I mean, we actually have the keys to people's offices. We're in there after hours. If something goes wrong, we know prior to them that there's an issue, and so that's important to me, that they trust us enough to go, Baron,
here's the key. Right.
Go in and fix what you need.
That is definitely a trust factor. Well, our time's wrapping up, and we could just go on forever.
Absolutely.
But I have to say that you're probably in an industry that in 15 years you have seen such change and such just been on a trajectory in terms of technology. So could you give me one thing that you would say, this is the piece that sort of went from the Model T to the airplane?
I'd say probably VoIP phones, phone systems, traditional phone systems to VoIP systems now, where you can take your phone in and plug it anywhere and call just like you're sitting at your office. It's been a huge seller for us.
We have just been talking about that at the chamber, and one of our board members talked about all of these, the cool system that they have, and it's like, isn't it the truth?
Yes.
We really don't need those operators any longer.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of Well, I wish you all the best. I am thrilled that you were here today.
Me too. Thank you.
We appreciate your membership and your support, and keep up the good work. So when you come back, you're going to be, 300 offices and 3,000 employees.
Absolutely.
If you decide you want to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
It was great to see you and have
Pleasure.
you here.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.